Hey, happy birthday, Jay-Z. With that being said, a friend of mine made a post in this group that I'm in, and he was saying, I'm single, been single for a long time. And I think I've been single for a long time because I can't get used to somebody telling me what to do, and I have to sit here and ask to go someplace and let somebody know what I'm doing and asking, can I do certain things? This guy he's in his late 30s, maybe early 40s, been single for a while. Good dude. I just find that really interesting. Um, why do people, once they get in relationships, feel they have to ask permission to do anything? Especially if I've been single for a while, I'm an adult, I'm handling my business, I'm taking care of my end. I got my house, apartment, cars, whatever. I'm stable and I built a life for myself. Why would I have to ask permission like I'm a teenager, like I'm a child? Wouldn't it just be communication? What's wrong with just saying, "Hey, this is what I plan on doing"? Especially we're talking about the dating phase, not necessarily when you're married. That's something totally different. But when you're dating, we're still, even though we may be committed, we're not married yet, and we're trying to build that communication. So it isn't part of the communication saying, "Hey, this is what I want to do." I'm not necessarily trying to tell you that. I'm just saying, "Hey, this is what's going on in my life. This is what I plan on doing on Saturday." Now, if you want to do something on Saturday, say, "Hey, this is what I wouldn't mind doing." Then that's a test for you can see for the guy, like, "Hey, you know what you do? Hey, I want to spend that time with you. I'd rather spend that time with you versus hanging out with my homeboys." To me, it kind of comes down to understanding that person. That person likes a little bit of their freedom. That's cool. It should be a point to where somebody has to ask, can I do this and can I do that? Because that, especially for a man who has his stuff together, that wears on us. Like, do I really want to do that? And that could be a reason why a lot of people don't stay in relationships, because that gets kind of tiring. And the rules change. The rules change. Once you get 35, you get more stable as a man and a woman. Things change, and the same thing that you did, or the same type of attitude that a person has when they were younger and dating and trying to build something together, has to be different from when you're trying to get somebody who's already established. Now, going back to Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's kind of interesting where a lot of people talk about, I want to build something. When they came together, they each had they each have built some things. Now just because they're millionaires doesn't mean that we can take the same aspect to regular people. If you're stable as a man and she's stable as a woman, y'all come together. It's not necessarily talking about building or anything of that nature. It's about being an asset and not a liability. What does that mean? What it means is that don't just take away. Don't be the type of person where you just take away a person's money because, I got these bills I want you to take care of too. I got these kids that, you got to help me with too. If I got behind on my child support, can you give me this? And not give her anything but sex and throwing your clothes on the floor everywhere. Same thing with ladies. Don't sit here and just be a liability saying, I want us to do this. Y'all want you to pay for this. You need to pay for that. Need to pay for that. I got my degree, but I got all these student loans and I need you to pay for it. I got these kids too that's coming to the house, that's coming to your house, and I need you to help pay for that. Don't take away a person's freedom, their independence. If that's what they like, you're being a liability if you're just taking, and not bringing anything other than just what's between your legs. That's not right. You should be able to bring the ability to communicate. You should be able to bring some understanding. As a man, you should be able to bring leadership, things of that nature. Be an asset, not a liability. And in order to be an asset, you understand the situation that you yourself is in and what's out here. At 35, 40, 45, 50, you can't act the same way as you did when you was in your 20s and think that same way. Because if you do that, you are going to be a liability. And you're going to constantly wonder, why can't I find, what I'm looking for, or what you think you want, or what you think you desire. Just a quick little thought while I'm sitting here waiting on my son from wrestling, from the man.